Hey, welcome back to the hobby room, everybody. So, been talking to a few guys about videos and doing the YouTube thing, and kind of let her slack. That's just what that is. What it is. There's no reason. I just have. So we're gonna go back to our like motto, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this channel's dedicated to being dedicated to nothing in particular, basically. Because I don't have a long enough attention span to stay on anything, and I start doing something and I get to where I enjoy it, or I get bored with it and I move on to something else. So, not to say I'm out of axes or chainsaws or splitting wood, any of that. That's all still part of the hobby room experience, but we want to build knives around here too. I'll build a couple, well, they're in the house, can't show you. I'll build a couple. One I made out of a rasp. One I made out of a chunk of torsion bar off of an old Durango, like so the spring steel, probably 5160. Let me tell you, that stuff is, you gotta pound and pound and pound and pound. But being as how nobody told me to use my sense of, well, not my sense of, let me think about this, my patience, my reasoning, whatever you want to call it, we're going to try Damascus. Our third knife is going to be Damascus, hopefully. Our other third knife, which I've already tried, I broke last night after I heat treated it. So we're using 80 CRV2, which is a chrome vanadium, that's the CRV. And we are using 15N20, which is kind of a high carbon steel with nickel. That nickel and the chrome, that's where you're going to get your pattern weld to show up, your different colors of steel. So first thing you got to do is you get these little chunks of steel. You can see they're not very shiny. They are color coded, so you can tell what you're using. So the first thing you got to do when you're going to make a forge weld is clean everything up real good. I already started, and then I figured, you know what, just put some content up, let's make a video. So that's what we're doing. We're cleaning up both sides of these. Then we'll hit them with acetone, make sure they're super duper clean. We'll take them out there on the forge, and well, first thing we got to do is weld them together on the edge. You'll see all this. Then we try to forge weld them. So we're using the old Skill hand belt sander because it's the widest surface I've got right now, and it seems to be working. So I'll bring you back when we're going to go do some welding. Thanks for showing up, folks. Just kidding. Got a mask on. You don't really want to be breathing in lots of steel dust. So I'll whip through one of these, let you watch a little bit. I know it's boring, so this will be a short one. And the noise is wonderful. So that's what we're looking for. Get back here and make sure you can see what I'm talking about. Nice and shiny. Not so shiny. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. I'll continue on. Okay, that took about 10 minutes, 15 minutes probably, to clean all these up. As far as getting them clean, so we're gonna throw some acetone on there. And what we're gonna do, if you don't understand how pattern welding works, pattern, because there's an N at the end of that. So we got the different colors. We got the 15N20 and the 80CRV2 there. You layer them up like one 15N20, 80CRV2, 15N20, you get it. That's how it works. That's how you get your patterns in your steel. If you haven't ever seen that, you ought to go look it up, see what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna just clean the first side of this one. It'll go down, and then from there on, I'll clean both sides. 'Cause anywhere they touch, you gotta have them clean, or they are not gonna weld. And then you do a whole lot of work, and you start grinding out the pattern of your knife, and all of a sudden it falls apart, and that's not what you want to do. We're going to start with 8 layers, and if everything goes right, that glove lasted a long time. If everything goes right, we'll weld those 8 layers together. We'll split them and we'll weld it back together, and that gives us 16. And so on and so forth until you end up with a whole lot of layers of steel. And forge welding, I've done it a couple times. I guess it works. Make sure I'm getting them colors on there right. But it's not easy, and then you start getting different kinds of steels, trying to weld them together. There's different properties in each steel, so you know it throws in different variables. And I should not be trying this at this point in my knife building experience, but nobody ever told me that I was smart enough to know better until after the fact, usually. But one thing I have learned in my life is if you go into something telling yourself you can't do it, you're probably going to prove yourself right. But I may just prove to myself that it didn't work the first time, and then it'll work the second time. Whatever. It's, you know, I started trying to build knives a long time ago. And I thought, you know, I should probably learn how to do some blacksmithing type stuff. Maybe, you know, this was going to be the handle for the knife I broke. Just to learn how to move metal with a heat hammer and anvil. And yeah, it worked. I mean, I learned how to do some blacksmithing, but I didn't learn how to build a knife. So this time I decided I want to learn how to build a knife. Now I'll clean this back side up. I want to learn how to build knives because that's what I want to learn how to do, you know? Kind of like my buddy told me when we started doing this. I had a friend helping me or wanting to learn at the same time a long time ago, and we used to use old horseshoes as metal because they were free and you could get lots of them. And one day he says, you know what, John? If you want to build a horseshoe, the best thing you can do is start with a horseshoe. So kind of in that same vein, if you want to learn how to build knives, don't start out by trying to learn how to build wind chimes and dinner bells and stupid little trinkets to go on necklaces. Learn how to build a knife. And, you know, here we go. I'll shut you off. We got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers, all alternating. We'll go out there and we're going to take the MIG welder. We're going to weld these edges together so that stuff doesn't move. We're going to get that really stinking hot. We're going to throw some borax on there as flux, and we're going to smash them and hope they go into a billet. See you at the forge. Okay, move the thermometer. We got the got the billet set up, got the welder, got the hood, the gloves. So let's see if we can weld this billet up here. Choink, choink. All right, get ready to close your eyes. Throw a ground on there. Whoop. Hey, now I heard you trying to run away. You're still in the picture, I guess, aren't you? Yeah. No, that's even better. Got the old Miller Multimatic fired up. Let's do some welding. I'll trim that a little shorter. There we go. Cool, there we go. We got a billet. And you know what? We want to weld a handle on that so we don't have to use the tongs. I think we do. Let's do. We got this now, which is 1018, which is considered a mild steel. So 1018, and I have a stack of 1095 in there. The 10 in the number is like the alloys, and the second number is like how much carbon's in it. There's not much carbon in this, so this would be considered mild steel. And this is easier than trying to use tongs. Cover. Oh, shoot. Gotta put the ground back on. Cool. That'll only just help hold them billets together. All right, moving on. Be back in a minute. Okay, here we go. First thing we gotta do is fire up the little forge. Turn on some gas. Start the match. Hit the regulator. I love that part. So here's our little billy. get loud. It's gonna get loud in here, so just watch. That's all I can tell you. Just watch. I'm gonna let this get hot. We'll put that billet in there and we'll bring you back. That rod's getting too hot to hold on to. Let's see if we can cool her off a little bit. bear was hot, still hot. Put her out there in Mother Nature's cooler. Fire it up! Man, I tell you what, swinging a 6-pound hammer with one hand, I am not that guy very often, or for very long. So, I guess we're gonna find out if that took. Hard to say right now, because I don't know. So, one thing you gotta do, at least the guys that made my forge told me this, you want those out of there after you're done, because they'll overheat the little jets up in there if you let all that heat from the forge go through there. So, hey, that's where we're at. We'll probably, this will probably be video 1. We'll start forging that thing, drawing it out into a shape, and that's when we start finding out if our weld took. I don't know what to look for. I can still see the layers, the lines, but I think it took. I hope it took. It's just a big old ugly chunk now. You can see those lines in there on the edges. I hope that's not a bad sign. We'll find out. Whew! Hell, thanks for watching. Everybody keep on the happy side of life and do what the hell ever you want to do. If it's making knives, building axes, cutting down trees, making clay pots, just do what you want to do. If it seems like it's going to be something hard, do a little research and then do it. You might find out you know how to do something that you didn't think you did. So, love y'all. Go out and get you some.